What's up everybody, Stone from Stick on the Ice here, and welcome back to another video. Today I have reset the entire NHL with a fantasy draft, and we're going to see what happens to the league. Quickly, we're going to go through every team so we know what each roster is comprised of. It's a great day for Arizona Coyote fans. Not only is this team no longer terrible, but they had the 3rd overall pick and they selected Nathan MacKinnon. The Ducks wouldn't be as lucky with the fantasy draft odds because they would get the last pick in the 1st round. However, that 32nd overall pick was still an amazing player in Braden Point. Without the Boston Big Three, the Bruins are going to have to start from scratch with the 22nd overall pick where they're selecting Andrei Svechnikov. Buffalo might finally be able to turn it around after being a dumpster fire for almost a decade. With the 30th overall pick, they're selecting Jonathan Huberdeau to be the new face of the franchise. After losing Aho and Svechnikov, Carolina didn't panic and they brought in Alexander Ovechkin, Hampus Lindholm, and Marc-Andre Fleury to keep themselves in the Stanley Cup contention. Columbus was able to secure the 8th overall pick where they got themselves one of the best players in the world in Sidney Crosby. In my opinion, the Calgary Flames are looking like the best team so far. They have amazing forwards, amazing defensemen, and a fantastic goalie in Connor Hellebuyck, who they drafted 17th overall. The Chicago Blackhawks might have lost a fantastic player in Patrick Kane, but they got themselves a pretty good replacement in Antemi Panarin with the 13th overall pick. Jack Eichel's time was cut extremely short with him being selected 11th overall by the Colorado Avalanche. Meanwhile, Semyon Varlamov's time away was cut short as he's brought back to the Avs. The Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin era has come to an end in Dallas, and a new era is beginning with Philip Forsberg and Matt Barzal, who was selected 16th overall. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. These videos take a long time to make, so any type of support like dropping a like or subscribing is greatly appreciated. Detroit might have a new team and a new superstar in Elias Pettersson, who they drafted 23rd overall, but this team still only looks okay. I think they might still be in a rebuilding phase. Without McDavid and Draisaitl, Edmonton's getting a fresh start with Jordan Kyrou, David Pastrnak, and up-and-coming goalie Igor Shesterkin. The Florida Panthers might not have the best offense in the league, but with Aaron Ekblad leading the defense and John Gibson in net, anything's possible. Outside the Kings' first line and top defensive pair, and Carey Price, this team actually doesn't look that good. The Kirill Kaprizov era was short-lived in Minnesota, but with the 20th overall pick, the Wild selected Sebastian Aho and they're ready to win a Stanley Cup. Montreal was lucky enough to secure the 2nd overall pick where they would draft Leon Draisaitl. Ironically, in between the pipes for the Canadiens is former Toronto Maple Leaf Jack Campbell. The New Jersey Devils are ditching the young core and they're entering win now mode, drafting Brad Marchand with the 9th overall pick. And New Jersey, they definitely got a Stanley Cup caliber goalie in net because they have Jordan Binnington. Nashville's entering a new era, and leading them into that new era is going to be Victor Hedman, who was drafted with the 4th overall pick, and their superstar goalie Tuukka Rask. The New York Islanders need to shake things up, and that's what they did with the 18th overall pick where they selected Mikko Rantanen. The Rangers needed a new top goal scorer, and they got that with Austin Matthews, who was selected 5th overall. Ottawa got themselves a massive steal with the 8th overall pick where they're selecting Nikita Kucherov, and in the 2nd round they were able to secure Kuch's new line mate John Tavares. Philly was another team that needed to shake things up, and with the 10th overall pick, that's what they're doing by drafting Patrick Kane. After losing their entire Stanley Cup core, Pittsburgh's entering a new era that's led by Mitch Marner and one of the hottest goalies in the NHL right now in Jacob Markstrom. Seattle's expansion team isn't going to get a chance to prove themselves as they're getting the 29th overall pick where they're selecting Alexander Barkov. The Sharks are getting rid of all their bad contracts, and with the 28th overall pick, they're selecting Mark Scheifele to begin the new start. The St. Louis Blues might not have the most talent in the league, but they have tons of depth and a solid goaltender in between the pipes in Robin Lehner. Just because Tampa's getting a fresh start doesn't mean they want a fresh start. They're going to draft Steven Stamkos in the 2nd round after drafting Charlie McAvoy with the 19th overall pick. Since Toronto's old core couldn't get past the 1st round, hopefully a brand new core with Adam Fox leading the way can. Vancouver's currently one of the hottest teams in hockey right now, but that's not going to matter because this is a completely different team that's going to be led by Kyle Connor. And Vegas is going to be the winner of the fantasy draft as they're receiving the 1st overall pick and they got the opportunity to draft Connor McDavid. The Jets are looking fantastic. Not only do they have great forward and defensive depth, they also got the 6th overall pick where they would draft Andrei Vasilevsky. And the final team we're looking at is the Washington Capitals, who are drafting Kuznetsov in the 2nd round after drafting one of the best defensemen in the league in Cale Makar. Now that we know who's on every team, comment down below who do you think is going to win the Stanley Cup. When the season came to an end, the New Jersey Devils are coming out on top with a 49-26-7 record. Not too far behind was the Ottawa Senators with a 48-26-8 record. And rounding out the top 3 is going to be the Florida Panthers with a 47-27-8 record. Leading the league in scoring was Ottawa's Nikita Kucherov with 44 goals and 56 assists for 100 points. Connor McDavid was only 1 point behind Kuch with 32 goals and 67 assists for 99 points. Hasta's going to round out the top 3 with 46 goals and 50 helpers for 96 points. In the Western Conference, Cal Peterson's leading the way with 40 wins, followed by Varlamov with 38 and Dreger with 35. And in the East, Jack Campbell's leading the way with 40 wins, followed by Bennington with 38 and Carter Hart with 38. So this is what the playoff picture is looking like. I feel like there's a handful of teams that could win, and this might come down to a single game. When the playoffs came to an end, the Ottawa Senators are becoming Stanley Cup champions, with Nikita Kucherov taking home the Conn Smythe. If you enjoyed this video, I definitely recommend checking the one out on screen, and if you haven't already, make sure to drop a like and subscribe.